Secretary will call the roll.
Onnested, Alquist, Ashburn, Benoit, Calderon, Cedillo, Cogdill, Corbett, Correa, Cox, Denham, DeSaulnier, Ducheney, Dutton, Flores, Hancock, Harmon, Hollingsworth, Huff, Kehoe, Leno, Liu, Lowenthal, Maldonado, Negrete McLeod, Oropesa, Padilla, Pavley, Price, Romero, Runner, Smidian, Steinberg, Strickland, Walters, Wiggins, Wolk, Wright, Weiland, Yee.
The absence of a quorum has been duly noticed. Sergeant-at-Arms will lock the door and call the absent members. Members, please join your colleagues on the floor of the California State Senate. Quorum. Ladies and gentlemen, a quorum is present. Would the members and our guests beyond the rail and in the gallery please rise? We will be led in prayer this afternoon by our chaplain, Rabbi Mona Alfi, after which please remain standing. We will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag by Senator Gloria Romero. Rabbi?
Good morning, or good afternoon. The British novelist Joseph Conrad wrote that for life to be large and full, it must contain the care of the past and of the future in every passing moment of the present. Our daily work, he said, must be done to the glory of the dead and for the good of those who come after. To be engaged in public service is to be engaged in work that is larger than oneself. When one's work is to serve the community, we should be ever conscious of the fact that we are caretakers of the blessings we have inherited from the generations that came before us, just as we hold the well-being of future generations in our hands. We pray to the Holy One, the Creator of all humanity, to grant us the ability to act in a way that gives honor to our ancestors while creating a firm foundation for those that come after us. May this be God's will. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Rabbi.
Without objection, we want to waive Rule 55 to allow a lobbyist on the floor for a presentation.
All right.
Senate Rule 55.
All right. Members, without objection, we will waive Senate Rule 55, which will permit a member of the Legislative Lobbying Corps to appear here in the rear of the chambers as part of a presentation. Do we have other items under privileges of the floor? Without objection, so ordered. Privileges of the floor. Senator Benoit.
Thank you, Mr. President. At the request of the author, I'd like to move that we remove AB 882 from the consent calendar.
Item 882. Thank you. AB 882, removed from the consent calendar at the request of the author, without objection. Senator Alquist, for what purpose do you rise?
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise to ask that we remove AB 144 by Speaker Bass from the inactive file for the purposes of amendments at her request. Thank you.
Without objection, so ordered. AB 144 removed from inactive. Do we have other items under privileges of the floor, members?
The floor is adjourned this presentation.
Senator Walters, for what purpose do you rise, ma'am?
Mr. President, I request that item 410, AB 753, be removed from the special consent file at the request of the author for the purpose of adopting amendments.
Thank you, Senator Walters. That is file item 410, AB 753, to be removed from the special consent calendar for purposes of amendments at the request of the author. Without objection, so ordered. Senator Flores at Senator Steinberg's desk. For what purpose do you rise, Senator?
Thank you. I was admiring Senator Padilla's white suit for a moment. Mr. President, I have a presentation of a long-term staff member here in the California State Senate. You may know her. She worked on most of our educational policies, at least on the Democratic side here, and she was Senator Parada's, our past pro tem's advisor, and I was very lucky to keep her when Senator Parada moved on back to Oakland. And I wanted to make a presentation to the Senate, and I know Senator Romero would like to say a few words as well. But we were very, very fortunate to have a very good staff, but more importantly, good advisors. Amy Costa is one of those advisors, and the Senate's lost her to the CSU system. So I look forward, and Senator Romero looks forward to grilling her on the other side of the table when it comes to many of the policies that come before this place. But she is very capable. It is a loss for the Senate to lose her advice and wisdom, but I'd like to have Amy Costa please come. I know that her family is here as well, and Senator Romero may want to say a few words, Mr. President, upon recognition.
Thank you very much, Senator Flores. Members, I'd like to go now to Senator Gloria Romero before we allow Ms. Costa the opportunity to share a word or two with us. Senator Romero.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Members, I mean, what can somebody say about Amy Costa? First of all, she knows where all the bones are buried, literally, when it comes to the California state budget, looking at higher education in K through 12. She has been just a remarkable source of talent, of inspiration, of really education education for the members. I worked with her quite closely when she worked for then President Pro Tem Senator Parada. I tried to recruit her over to my office, but she was already taken. But I will say, Amy, we are going to miss you terribly. Senator Flores made reference to the CSU. We really hope that you will put everything in order so that when you appear at the table, everything will go smooth and we don't have to ask those questions about excessive compensation scandals any longer. We know if anybody can resolve it, you will. But congratulations on this next chapter of your life. We will miss you from this building. We know you'll be right across the street, and believe me, we're going to continue to reach out to you to help us understand the future of public policy for education in California. Best of luck to you.
Senator Flores.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to give, if permission with the floor, Ms. Costa an opportunity to say a few words. This will be one of the few microphones she won't be able to speak in the Senate and in the Assembly, so if she could say a few words, that would be appreciated.
Thank you. Without objection, and Ms. Costa, before you begin your remarks, what I'd like to do is bang the gavel, call the Senate to full attention so that you can say that at least once during your career you had the ear of the entire California State Senate.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. I just want to thank everybody for what's been an extraordinary opportunity for me to work in this body and in the legislature for the last 12 years. And I will literally just be right across the street, and I look forward to continuing to work with each and every one of you. And it's been a pleasure to work with my colleagues on both sides of the aisle. It looks like you guys have a couple more special sessions in front of you, so I wish you all good luck. This will be my second time that I went out on maternity leave during a special session, which is not a bad strategy. Thank you.
And thank you once again. Members, we are at motions, resolutions, and notices. Is there any business under motions and resolutions? Any business under motions and resolutions? Members, pursuant to Senate Rule 29.10, the following bill is referred to the Rules Committee. That is item number 11, AB 590. Once again, pursuant to Senate Rule 29.10, the following bill is referred to the Rules Committee. Item number 11, bill number is AB 590. Members, that takes us to consideration of the daily file. Senator Liu, before we get to the daily file, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. President. File item 400, AB 1525, bill removed from special consent at the request of the author.
File item 400, AB
1525.
1525, at the request of the author, removed from the special consent calendar. Thank you, members. Unless there's any other business under motions and resolutions, we are ready to take up the consideration of the daily file. We have items under second reading. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 474 with amendments, Assembly Bill 129, Assembly Bill 1396, Assembly Bill 1563, Assembly
Without
Bill
objection,
402.
deemed read. So ordered. Special orders, none. Governor's vetoes, governor's appointments, conference reports. Members, that takes us to unfinished business. File item 26 on our daily file. SB number 324, Senator Cedillo, not at his desk. File item 27, Senator Ahlquist. Secretary will read.
Senate Bill 48 by Senator Ahlquist, an act relating to college textbooks.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. This bill is back for concurrence. You may recall that SB 48 will reduce educational costs for college students by requiring that an entity that offers textbooks for sale at UC, CSU, and the community colleges make them available for sale in an electronic format by January 1st, 2020. I took amendments in the Assembly to provide flexibility for small publishers. The amendments remove the opposition of the American Association of Publishers, and I ask for your support.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Ahlquist? Aye. Ashburn? No. Benoit? Calderon? Cedillo? Cogdill? No. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Aye. Cox? No. Denham? DeSaulnier? Aye. Ducheney? Aye. Dutton? Flores? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? Aye. Hollingsworth? No. Huff? Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Aye. Liu? Lowenthal? Maldonado? Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Padilla? Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? No. Smidian?
Aye.
Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Strickland? No. Walters? No. Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? No. Yee? Yee, aye. Okay.
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Benoit? No. Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Aye. Denham? No. Dutton? Huff? Liu? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Oropesa? Padilla? Aye. Mr. President, Harmon, aye to no.
Semidian, aye.
Semidian, aye. Kehoe?
Ayes 24, noes 11. The amendments are concurred in. File item 28, Senator Yee. Secretary will read.
Senate Bill 219 by Senator Yee, an act relating to improper governmental activities.
Thank you very much, Mr. President and Senators. This item is back for concurrence. It deals with whistleblowers. The Assembly amendment simply inserted a generous time limit for how long UC administrators may take to consider these cases. With that, urge an aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? No. Benoit? No. Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Cogdill? No. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Aye. Cox? No. Denham? DeSaulnier? Aye. Ducheney? Aye. Dutton? No. Flores? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? No. Hollingsworth? No. Huff? Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Aye. Liu? Liu, no. Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? No. Smidian?
Aye.
Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Strickland? No. Walters? No. Wiggins? Wolk? No. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Yee? Yee, aye. Wyland, no.
Semidian, aye.
Smidian, aye. Could we call it?
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Cedillo? Aye. Denham? Denham, no. Huff? Maldonado? Oropesa? Wiggins? Wiggins, aye. Mr. President, ayes 22, noes 14.
Ayes 22, noes 14. The measure is approved. File item 29, Senator Hancock. Pass. File item 30, Senator Wiggins. Secretary will read.
Senate Bill 635 by Senator Wiggins, an act relating to domestic violence.
Senator Wiggins passed temporarily. We'll come back to that item, Senator. File item 31, Senator Liu. Pass. File item 32, Senator Harmon.
Calderon.
Senator Calderon, is that his? One moment, Senator. Senator Harmon, you're ready to proceed. Secretary will read.
Senate Bill 589 by Senator Harmon, an act relating to hunting.
Thank you, Mr. President. SB 589 ensures that hunting license tag and stamp funds are expended to benefit game species and their habitats. The amendments taken in the Assembly were technical and clarifying in nature only. Ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Members, debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested, Alquist, aye. Ashburn, aye. Benoit, Calderon, aye. Cedillo, Cogdill, aye. Corbett, aye. Correa, aye. Cox, aye. Denham, DeSaulnier, aye. Ducheney, aye. Dutton, aye. Flores, aye. Hancock, Harmon, aye. Hollingsworth, aye. Huff, Kehoe, aye. Leno, aye. Liu, aye. Lowenthal, Maldonado, Negrete McLeod, aye. Oropesa, Padilla, Pavley, aye. Price, aye. Romero, aye. Runner, aye. Semidian,
Aye.
aye. Steinberg,
Wiggins, Mike.
Strickland, Steinberg, aye. Strickland, aye. Walters, aye. Wiggins, aye. Wolk, aye. Wright, Wyland, aye. Yee, aye. Romero, aye to no. Benoit, aye.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Cedillo, Denham, no. Hancock, aye. Huff, Lowenthal, Maldonado, Lowenthal, aye. Maldonado, Oropesa, Padilla, aye. Wright, aye. Denham, no to aye. Cedillo, aye. Mr. President, ayes 35, noes 1.
Ayes 35, noes 1. The measure is concurred in. Senator Calderon, for what purpose do you rise, sir?
Motions and resolutions.
Under motions and resolutions, Senator.
I respectfully ask to remove file item number 406, which is AB 505, from the special consent file for purposes of amendment.
Without objections, so ordered.
Item 33. SB.
File item 33, Secretary will read.
Senate Bill 215 by Senator Wiggins, an act relating to local government.
Mr. President and members, this bill tells LAFCOs to think about sustainable community strategies when they act on boundary changes. Just as regional transportation planners must consider LAFCO's spheres of influence, LAFCOs should consider regional transportation plans, including sustainable communities. And working with the League of California Cities and the local government, I took assembly amendments that clarified the bill's language to avoid repealing a section that officials wanted to keep. So I ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? No. Benoit? No. Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Aye. Cogdill? No. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Cox? Denham? DeSaulnier? Aye. Duchesne? Dutton? Flores? Dutton, no. Flores, aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? No. Hollingsworth? No. Huff? Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Aye. Liu? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Padilla? Aye. Price? Or, excuse me, Pavley? I know. Pavley, aye. Price, aye. Romero? Runner? No. Smidian? Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Strickland? Walters? No. Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? No. Yee? Yee, aye. Denham, no. Cox, no. Romero, aye. Correa, aye. Duchesne, aye. Onnested, Huff, Maldonado, Oropesa, Strickland. Strickland, no. Mr. President, ayes 24, noes 12.
Ayes 24, noes 12. The amendments are concurred in. Senator Yee, for what purpose do you rise, sir?
Under motions and resolutions.
Proceed.
At the request of the author, please move AB 1531, item 401 to third reading for purpose of amendments. And at request of author, please move AB 605 to the inactive.
Do we have an item number on that last Assembly Bill 605, Senator?
No, but I'll get that to you.
All right. Thank you very much. Without objection, members, we are back on file. File item 34, Senator Wiggins. Secretary will read.
Senate Bill 272 by Senator Wiggins, an act relating to educational counseling.
This is SB 272, and Mr. President, members, this bill will update the definition of a school counselor and aligns the educational counseling guidelines with those currently in use under the middle and high school supplemental counseling program. The bill will also encourage the use of contemporary standards and best practices such as career technical education and multiple pathways in professional development for school counselors. Amendments taken in the Assembly make the bill permissive. This bill received no opposition. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested, Alquist, aye. Ashburn, Benoit, Calderon, Cedillo, aye. Cogdill, no. Corbett, aye. Correa, Cox, no. Denham, no. DeSaulnier, aye. Duchesne, aye. Dutton, no. Flores, aye. Hancock, aye. Harmon, no. Hollingsworth, no. Huff, Kehoe, aye. Leno, aye. Liu, aye. Lowenthal, Maldonado, Negrete McLeod, aye. Oropesa, Padilla, aye. Pavley, aye. Price, aye. Romero, aye. Runner, no. Smidian, aye. Steinberg, aye. Strickland, no. Walters, No. Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? No. Yee? Yee, aye. Correa, no. Ashburn, no.
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Benoit? No. Calderon? Aye. Huff? Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Oropesa? Mr. President?
Ayes 23, noes 13. The measure is concurred in. File item 35. Senator Correa, please read.
Senate Joint Resolution 4 by Senator Correa relative to Alzheimer's disease.
Senators, we have an Amber Alert for children. Why not one for our deserving seniors? This resolution urges the President and Congress of the United States to act to establish a federally controlled Alzheimer's Silver Alert program to locate missing persons with dementia and establish a federal grant program to aid states in establishing local Silver Alert programs. I ask for an aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? No. Benoit? Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Aye. Cogdill? Aye. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Cox? Aye. Denham? Aye. DeSaulnier? Aye. Ducheney? Dutton? Aye. Flores? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? Aye. Hollingsworth? Huff? Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Aye. Liu? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? Aye. Semidian?
Aye.
Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Strickland? Aye. Walters? Aye. Wiggins? Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Aye. Yee? Yee, aye. Correa, aye.
Call the absent members.
Onnested? Benoit? Ducheney? Hollingsworth? Huff? Maldonado? Oropesa? Wiggins? Wiggins, aye. Mr. President?
Ayes 32, noes 1. The measure is concurred in. File item 36, passed. File item 37, Senator Kehoe. Pass. File item 38, Senator Liu. Pass. File item 39, Senator Yee. Not it. Senator Yee. Trotting to his desk. Secretary, please read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 40 by Senator Yee relative to juvenile justice.
Mr. President and Senators, this is a national effort to try and bring a different attitude towards juvenile justice issues. Oftentimes we talk about sending a lot of these youngsters to prison so that they can somehow repent or somehow find ways to atone for their particular problem. There's some value in terms of that, but I think there's some additional value in terms of trying to help these individuals, understand the conflicts that they got themselves into and how to better resolve them. So what we're talking about is really looking at treatment services rather than to try and just simply let them spend time in their prison. In addition to that, it looks at providing appropriate educational services and also ways to help these youngsters stay engaged with their family. All of this is to really try to help these youngsters to find the resources within themselves and outside in order to be a productive citizen once they get out. I should note that there are a number of other states such as New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Louisiana, and then soon Illinois who have passed similar legislation. This is really trying to give our kids another chance. With that, urge an aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? No. Benoit? No. Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Aye. Cogdill? No. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Cox? No. Denham? No. DeSaulnier? Aye. Ducheney? Aye. Dutton? Flores? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? No. Hollingsworth? No. Huff? No. Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Aye. Liu? Aye. Lowenthal? Maldonado? Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? No. Smidian? Aye. Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Strickland? Walters? No. Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Ye? Wyland, no. Yee? Aye. Correa, no. So, Mr. President, ayes 22, noes 12.
Ayes 22, noes 12. The amendments are concurred in. File item 40, Senator Kehoe. Secretary will read.
Senate Joint Resolution 9 by Senator Kehoe relative to the Don't Ask, Don't Tell military policy.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. This resolution calls on the President and Congress to repeal the discriminatory Don't Ask, Don't Tell military policy by enacting House Resolution 1283, which is called the Military Readiness Enhancement Act of 2009. The House of Representatives has not yet taken this up yet, so this resolution is timely, members, and will help with our military readiness, not to mention the civil rights of lesbian and gay Americans who want to serve. Since 1993, and who are actively in service right now. Since 1993, when Don't Ask, Don't Tell was enacted, the policy has served to erode our military readiness, our national security, frayed our preparedness, and cost the taxpayers millions of dollars. Qualified service members, some in high-skill, mission-sensitive areas such as Arab language speakers, have been drummed out of the Corps due to the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, Don't Pursue policy. In fact, more than 13,000 able and willing service members have been discharged. These critical occupations, such as I said, Arabic language speakers, intelligence, translation, and medicine, are vitally needed as we step up our commitments overseas, especially in Afghanistan. The Department of Defense's own internal studies show that sexual orientation diversity causes no detriment to unit cohesion. And in fact, members, common sense will tell you 24 countries in the world allow gays and lesbian members to serve openly, including our allies, Great Britain, Australia, Israel, and Canada. In May 2009, Gallup polls showed that 69% of American adults, even 58% of those who identify as conservative voters, support allowing gay men and lesbians to serve openly in the military. In the face of the growing federal deficit, members, it's time to repeal this policy, put our military money where it's needed most, on the front lines with our soldiers and sailors in combat. I would ask you most urgently to support this resolution so that we can send our message to the United States Congress asking them to act on their authority and repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. This is sponsored by Equality California, also the Service Members Legal Defense Network, American Veterans for Equal Rights, and others. Ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Senator Leno.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Kehoe is very comprehensive in her comments, so I will be careful not to repeat any and all of the important reasons she stated why we need to repeal Don't Ask, Don't Tell. 70% of Americans, a higher percentage of Californians, want to see this repealed. But I just want to put a human face on this for a moment. The military has recognized that the severity of the existence being in Iraq and Afghanistan is so severe, and it's so difficult for military personnel to be away from their families, that we're spending tens of millions of dollars on counseling to help our service members be able to deal with the separation from their families. Imagine if you are a gay or lesbian soldier and you are in Iraq, you are in Afghanistan, and you're suffering the same challenges and heartache being separated from your friends and family, but you can't even put a photograph of your loved one out for view. You can't even share the fact of your struggle with another service member because you would be breaking the policy. So whereas we recognize in heterosexual relationships that the pain of separation is so great a challenge that it rips families apart, that we need to invest in counseling, a gay or lesbian service member has to remain absolutely silent and not be able to reveal or share. This is a human need while they are putting their lives on the line so we can do our work here safely today. So this makes great sense. This is not politically controversial. It's good for the military. It's a humane thing to do. I would ask for your aye vote.
Further debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? No. Benoit? No. Calderon? Cedillo? Aye. Cogdill? No. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Aye. Cox? No. Denham? No. DeSaulnier? Aye. DeCheney? Aye. Dutton? Flores? Hancock? Aye. Harmon? No. Hollingsworth? No. Huff? Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Aye. Liu? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Romero? Aye. Runner? Smidian?
Aye.
Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Strickland? No. Walters? No. Wiggins? Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Yee? Yee, aye. Calderon? Aye. Okay. Okay. Runner, no. Wiggins, aye. Dutton, no. Huff, no. Price, aye.
Call the absent members.
Wyland, no. Onnested? Flores? Maldonado? Oropesa?
Ayes 23, noes 13. The measure is concurred in. Senator DeSaulnier, file item 41. Secretary will read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 47 by Senator DeSaulnier relative to education funding.
Senator DeSaulnier.
Mr. President, SCR 47 recognizes the valuable contribution of Title V child development centers and preschool centers that they make to California's future by preparing our children to be successful students and athletes and adults. While Title V child development centers and preschools are required to meet new quality standards and mandates, the standard reimbursement rate does not keep up with the rising costs associated with meeting these new standards. What this resolution merely does is recognize the good work of these facilities and also commits us to a discussion when our fiscal situation gets better to trying to rectify this tough situation for these Title V centers. I would ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested, Alquist, aye. Ashburn, Benoit, no. Calderon, Cedillo, Cogdill, no. Cedillo, aye. Cogdill, no. Corbett, aye. Correa, Cox, no. Denham, no. DeSaulnier, aye. Ducheney, Dutton, no. Flores, Hancock, aye. Harmon, no. Hollingsworth, no. Huff, no. Kehoe, Leno, aye. Liu, aye. Lowenthal, aye. Maldonado, Negrete McLeod, aye. Oropesa, Padilla, aye. Pavley, aye. Price, aye. Romero, aye. Runner, no. Smidian,
aye.
Aye. Steinberg, Strickland, Walters, no. Wiggins, aye. Wolk, aye. Wright, Wyland, Yee, aye. Correa, aye.
Call the absent members.
Onnested, Ashburn, no. Calderon, aye. Ducheney, aye. Flores, aye. Kehoe, aye. Maldonado, Oropesa, Steinberg, aye. Strickland, Wright, aye. Wyland.
Ayes 24, noes 11. The measure is concurred in. Senator Kehoe at Senator Steinberg's desk. For what purpose do you rise, Senator?
For an introduction, Mr. President.
Please proceed.
Thank you so much. Members, I'd like to take just a moment of your time for the Senate to express our thanks to Brigadier General Angie Salinas, who is leaving Marine Corps Recruit Depot in San Diego to go on to her next position. General Salinas is a native of Vallejo, educated in Marin, so she's a California girl, if we can still use that word for a brigadier general. And she's the highest ranking Latina in the Marine Corps, in the United States Marine Corps, and the only general, I believe. She'll be moving on to her next assignment. She's done an outstanding job in San Diego at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot, and I think we all owe her a vote of thanks. Thank you so much.
General, thank you for your service. General, thank you for your service. Senator Ducheney, for what purpose do you rise?
Thank you very much. To take a moment, Mr. President, as long as we're on privileges of the floor, to let the members who may have missed this over the weekend know that our team from Parkview Little League in Chula Vista has been representing California and the Western region quite admirably in the Little League World Series, and will now have earned for sure a place in the quarterfinal playoffs later this week. They pitched 2 shutout games, 15-0 and 14-0, Saturday and Sunday, and we're hopeful that by the end of the weekend we'll see them in in the U.S. Championship. So keep rooting for Parkview.
Congratulations, and we send our best wishes for the future. And members, before we return to items on the file, I believe Senator Ahlquist is at her desk, and it is worth noting that this last Friday was her 65th birthday, although she doesn't look a day older than any one of us. Could we join her in a well-wishes, please? Thank you. File item 42, Senator Duchesne. Secretary will read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 34 by Senator Duchesne relative to Extended Opportunity Programs and Services Month.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Members, this is simply a resolution designating the month of October to appreciate the great work that our colleges do, particularly in extended opportunity programs, reaching out to all of those who might benefit from public higher education. Ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested. Ahlquist. Aye. Ashburn. Benoit. Aye. Calderon. Aye. Cedillo. Aye. Cogdill. Aye. Corbett. Aye. Correa. Cox. Aye. Denham. Aye. DeSaulnier. Aye. Duchesne. Aye. Dutton. Flores. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Harmon. Hollingsworth. Aye. Huff. Kehoe. Aye. Leno. Aye. Liu. Aye. Lowenthal. Aye. Maldonado. Negrete McLeod. Aye. Oropesa. Aye. Padilla. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Price. Romero. Aye. Runner. Smidian.
Aye.
Aye. Steinberg. Aye. Strickland. Walters. Runner. Aye. Walters. Wiggins. Aye. Wolk. Aye. Wright. Aye. Wyland. Aye. Yee. Yee, aye. Correa, aye.
Call the absent members.
Harmon, aye. Onnested. Ashburn. Dutton. Huff. Maldonado. Price. Aye. Strickland. Walters.
Call the absent members.
Onnested. Ashburn. Dutton. Huff. Maldonado. Strickland. Walters. Ashburn, aye.
Ayes 34, no 0. The measure is concurred in. File item 43, Senator Leno. Members, a correction that file item 42 by Senator Duchesne was on third reading and not a concurrence item. Measure is passed. File item 43, Senator Leno. Secretary will read.
Senate Joint Resolution 14 by Senator Leno relative to medical marijuana.
Thank you, Mr. President. In light of the fact that California voters, by a significant majority in 1996, passed Proposition 215, which allows for the medical and compassionate use of marijuana, this SJR 14 urges the federal government to end the medical marijuana raids in California and to finally, if belatedly, create a comprehensive federal medical marijuana policy that ensures safe and legal access to patients and their providers to the medicine recommended by their physicians. Specifically, the resolution calls for four things. First, to end the federal raids and the intimidation and interference in the enforcement of voter-approved state laws. the adoption of policies that encourage advanced clinical research trials into the therapeutic use of marijuana, an affirmative defense to medical marijuana charges in federal court, so that if one is arrested here in California, at least one would have the right to argue in one's defense that I was using this medicine with a doctor's recommendation per the will of the voters of California, which they cannot do currently, and also urging a comprehensive federal policy that ensures safe and legal access for all patients. I'll just close by pointing out that a field poll in January 2004 showed 74% of Californians approve of the legal medicinal use of marijuana, and a Zogby January 2009 poll, 72% want the president to end the federal raids of medical marijuana providers. So in light of all of this, and again, recognizing the efficacious and compassionate use of medical marijuana, we should urge the federal government, finally, to address this issue. I'd ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion, members. Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? No. Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? No. Benoit? Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Aye. Cogdill? No. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Cox? No. Denham? No. DeSaulnier? Aye. Ducheney? Aye. Dutton? No. Flores? Hancock? Aye. Harmon? No. Hollingsworth? No. Huff? No. Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Aye. Liu? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Aye. Padilla? Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? No. Smidian?
Aye.
Aye. Steinberg? Strickland? No. Walters? No. Wiggins? Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? No. Yee? Yee aye. Benoit no. Correa no. Wiggins aye. Padilla aye. Mr. President, ayes 22.
Call the absent members.
Flores, Maldonado, Steinberg, Steinberg aye.
Ayes 23, noes 15. The measure is passed. File item 44, Senator Corbett. Senator, are you prepared to take this measure up? Pass? Pass. Pass on file item, file item 45, Senator Cox. Forgive me, Senator Cox, that is proposed for special consent. File item 46, back to Senator Corbett. On this item, Secretary will read.
Senate Concurrent Resolution 51 by Senator Corbett, relative to earthquakes.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, earthquakes pose a significant and ongoing threat throughout our state. SCR 51 recognizes this danger and promotes the Earthquake Country Alliance's earthquake preparedness efforts. This resolution also endorses the Great California Shakeout, which is a statewide earthquake drill that will be held this year on October 15th and annually thereafter. There's no opposition to this measure, and I ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? No. Benoit? Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Aye. Cogdill? Aye. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Aye. Cox? Aye. Denham? Aye. DeSaulnier? Aye. Ducheney? Dutton? Aye. Flores? Hancock? Aye. Harmon? Aye. Hollingsworth? Huff? I. Kehoe. I. Leno. Lou. I. Lowenthal. I. Maldonado. Negrete McLeod. I. Oropesa. I. Padilla. I. Pavley. I. Price. I. Romero. I. Runner. I. Smidian. I. Steinberg. Strickland. Walters. I. Wiggins. I. Wolk. I. Wright. I. Wyland. I. Yee. Yee, aye. Strickland, aye. Benoit, aye. Ashburn, no to aye. Onnested, aye.
Members, Senator Corbett moves a call. We have a few members off the floor, and the Pro Tem has asked us that we put these items on call until our remaining membership can return. The measure is on call, and that takes us to file item 47, Senator Lowenthal. This is file item 47, SCR number 52 by Senator Lowenthal. Pass, thank you. File item 48, ACR number 3 on Assembly third reading. Do we have an author there? We do not. Excuse me, is floor manager there? AJR number 8, Senator Maldonado, not at his desk. File item 50, Senator Leno, not at his desk. File item 51, Senator Wyland, would you like to take this matter up? This is file item 51. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 313 by Assemblymember Fletcher, an act relating to common interest developments.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, AB 313 is an effort to protect seniors and military retirees from potential increases in homeowners association fees. We have one such development in North San Diego County. I believe there are others in the state. Since its inception, the one in my county has based its homeowner fees upon a percentage of the taxable value of each individual home at the time of purchase. Many of these retirees simply could not afford to pay those homeowner dues if they were based on current values. This practice is not clearly defined in current law. We'd like to clarify this practice in order to protect this long-standing policy. On behalf of the author, Assemblyman Fletcher, I'd like to thank Senators Kehoe and Duchesne for co-authoring this bill. It's received all aye votes. I urge your aye vote on this measure.
Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Aye. Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? Benoit? Aye. Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Aye. Cogdill? Aye. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Aye. Cox? Aye. Denham? Aye. Desaunier? Duchesne? Dutton? Aye. Flores? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? Aye. Hollingsworth? Aye. Huff? Aye. Kehoe? Leno? Lou? Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Padilla? Oropesa, aye. Padilla, aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? Aye. Smidian? Aye. Steinberg? Strickland? Aye. Walters? Aye. Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Wyland? Aye. Wright, aye. Yee? Yee, aye. Desaunier, aye. Kehoe, aye. Mr. President, Ayes 34, noes 0.
Mr. Weiland moves a call. Measure is on call, Mr. Weiland. We have some absent members. Thank you. File item 52, Senator Cedillo. File item 52. Prepared to take that measure up? If so, we'll say... Members, we are at file item 52, and a reminder that we're placing items on call while we have a few members off the floor. Senator, we can come back to that item if you like. This is file item 52, ACR 68. Assemblymember Davis. We will pass temporarily, and we'll go on to file item 53. We're happy to come back to that item when you're ready, sir. File item 53. File item 54. These are budget measures. File item 55. File item 56. These are all budget items, members. File item 57. No floor manager. File item 58. No floor manager. File item 59. No floor manager. File item. Thank you, Senator Benoit. File item 59. Secretary will read.
Assembly Bill 250 by Assemblymember Miller, an act relating to criminal procedure.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, AB 250 is designed to improve the efficiency of the judicial process by ensuring that criminal cases are not thrown out due to technical missed deadlines. The bill will simply require that if a defendant wishes to withdraw their request for a speedy trial, they must do so in open court. This measure has received bipartisan and unanimous support at every step of the process. I urge your aye vote.
Debate or discussion, members? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Aye. Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? Benoit? Aye. Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Cogdill? Aye. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Aye. Cox? Aye. Denham? Aye. Desaulniers? Ducheney? Dutton? Aye. Flores? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? Aye. Hollingsworth? Aye. Huff? Aye. Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Liu? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Aye. Negrete McLeod? Oropesa? Aye. Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? Aye. Semidian?
Aye.
Aye. Steinberg? Strickland? Aye. Walters? Aye. Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Aye. Yee? Yee, aye. Mr. President, ayes 33, no 0.
Ayes 33, noes 0. The measure is on call. File item 60, Senator Hancock. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1 by Assemblymember Monning, an act relating to teachers.
Mr. President Pro Tem and members, Assembly Bill 1 authorizes teachers, as part of participating in professional growth programs, have the option of enrolling in courses including negotiation, mediation, and conflict resolution. It had bipartisan support in Senate Education. I would ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? No. Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? Benoit? No. Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Aye. Cogdill? No. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Aye. Cox? No. Denham? No. Desaulniers? Aye. Ducheney? Dutton? No. Flores? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? No. Hollingsworth? No. Huff? No. Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Lou? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Aye. Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Aye. Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? No. Smidian? Aye. Steinberg? Strickland? No. Walters? No. Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Aye. Yee? Yee, aye. Mr. President, ayes 24, noes 12.
Ayes 24, noes 12. The measure is on call. File item 61, Senator Wyland. Pass. File item 62, Senator Hancock. Secretary will read.
Assembly Bill 1134 by Assemblymember Mendoza, an act relating to elections.
Mr. President and members, AB 1134 clarifies the Elections Code to allow a voter to withdraw his signature from an initiative, referendum, or recall petition without requiring a formal declaration of circulator, but simply by filing a written request with the elections officials. This is similar to a bill that passed last year with no votes, but was vetoed by the governor with a generic veto. So we hope that it will go through again easily this year and will be signed by the governor, eliminating a hurdle to a voter who wishes to have his name removed from a petition. I would ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Aye. Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? Benoit? Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Aye. Cogdill? Corbett? Aye. Correa? Aye. Cox? Aye. Denham? Aye. DeSaulnier? Aye. Ducheney? Dutton? No. Aye. Flores? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? Aye. Hollingsworth? Aye. Huff? Aye. Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Lou? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Aye. Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Aye. Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? Aye. Smidian?
Aye.
Aye. Steinberg? Strickland? Aye. Walters? Aye. Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Aye. Yee? Yee, aye. Ayes 34, no 0.
Ayes 34, no 0. The measure is on call. File item 63, Senator Ducheney, not at her desk. File item 64, Senator Yee. Would you like to take up file item 64, Senator Yee? Senator Yee, pass. File item 65, no floor manager. File item 66, no floor manager. File item 67, no floor, excuse me. File item 66. Thank you, Senator Harmon. We do have a file, floor manager. Secretary will read.
Assembly Bill 121 by Assemblymember Hernandez, an act relating to judgment liens.
Thank you, Mr. President, members. This bill, AB 121, is very similar to AB 3013, which also received the generic veto from the governor last time around. It would permit judgment creditors to file a lien extension every 5 years as long as a continuation statement is filed with the Secretary of State 6 months prior to the expiration of the lien. This makes good sense and received very few no votes last time and none this time, and ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested. Aye. Alquist. Aye. Ashburn. Benoit. Calderon. Aye. Cedillo. Cogdill. Corbett. Correa. Cox. Aye. Denham. Aye. DeSaulnier. Aye. Ducheney. Dutton. Aye. Flores. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Harmon. Aye. Hollingsworth. Huff. Aye. Kehoe. Aye. Leno. Liu. Aye. Lowenthal. Maldonado. Aye. Negrete McLeod. Aye. Oropesa. Aye. Padilla. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Price. Aye. Romero. Aye. Runner. Aye. Smidian. Aye. Steinberg. Strickland. Aye. Walters. Aye. Wiggins. Aye. Wolk. Aye. Wright. Aye. Wyland. Aye. Yee. Yee, aye. Corbett, aye. Correa, aye. Cogdill, aye. Ashburn. Benoit. Benoit, aye. Cedillo. Ducheney. Hollingsworth. Leno. Lowenthal. Aye. Steinberg. Cedillo, aye.
Ayes 35, the measure is on call. That takes us to file item 37. Do we have a floor manager? File item 67, File item 68. Senator Huff is the floor manager. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 1403 by Assemblymember Ng, an act relating to transportation.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator, as Vice Chair of Senate Transportation, I'm pleased to be bringing this forward as a co-author with the Assembly Transportation Chair, Mike Ng. AB 1403 removes an arbitrary and artificial cap on the Southern California Association of Governments' allocation of Transportation Development Act funds. This cap was set in 1979. Now, this is a little bit of esoterica for those of you not steeped in all transportation stuff, but you may recall that the TDA directs 0.25% of the sales tax to the local transportation fund in each county for various transportation purposes, including transportation planning and programming and public transit. Existing law also limits the amount of these funds that can be used for transportation planning and programming. SCAG's share of these funds comes from Metro, OCTA, Sandbag, and RCTC, all of which organizations support this bill. In fact, an amendment was taken for OCTA to delay implementation a little bit. The total annual TDA allocation for these counties is $613 million. This would impact a minuscule amount of this. It would go from $1 million to $4.5 million. You may ask, why now? Frankly, the state has implemented some other things related that have impacts to the local jurisdictions down there, such as air quality and most recently SB 375, and yet while we've required them to do more planning, we have not unleashed the funds to do so. This bill will correct that. I ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested. No. Alquist. Aye. Ashburn. Benoit. Calderon. Aye. Cedillo. Aye. Cogdill. Aye. Corbett. Aye. Correa. Aye. Cox. Aye. Denham. Aye. DeSaulnier. Aye. Ducheney. Dutton. No. Flores. Aye. Hancock. Aye. Harmon. Aye. Hollingsworth. No. Huff. Aye. Kehoe. Aye. Leno. Liu. Aye. Lowenthal. Aye. Maldonado. Aye. Negrete McLeod. Aye. Oropesa. Aye. Padilla. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Price. Aye. Romero. Aye. Runner. No. Smidian. Aye. Steinberg. Strickland. Walters? No. Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? No. Yee? Yee, aye. Strickland, aye. Benoit, aye. Mr. President, ayes 30, no 6.
Ayes 30, no 6. The measure is on call. File item 69, Senator Liu. Secretary will read.
Assembly Joint Resolution 6 by Assemblymember Bell, relative to elder citizens.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, AJR 6 memorializes the President and Congress to ensure the economic security for all elders. A recent study conducted by UCLA in collaboration with the Insight Center for Community Economic Development found that 47%, that's 1.76 million of California's older adults, do not have enough income to adequately cover their most basic needs, including food, shelter, medicine, and transportation. A more sophisticated and updated calculation of poverty would provide a more accurate picture of the true economic needs of elders and their families, and that the Elder Economic Security Standard Index is such a measure. I ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none. Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? Benoit? Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Aye. Cogdill? No. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Aye. Cox? No. Denham? No. Dusanier? Aye. Ducheney? Dutton? No. Flores? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? No. Flores? Oh, sorry. Hollingsworth? Huff? No. Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Liu? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Aye. Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Aye. Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? No. Semidian?
Aye.
Aye. Steinberg? Strickland? Walters? No. Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Aye. Yee? Yee, aye. Hollingsworth? No. Onnested? No. Mr. President, ayes 24, noes 10.
Ayes 24, noes 10. The measure is on call. File item 70, Senator Ashburn. Not at his desk. File item 71, Senator Correa. Passed temporarily. File item 72, Senator Pavley. Passed. File item 73, Senator Lowenthal. File item 73, Secretary will read.
Assembly Bill 899 by Assemblymember Torres, an act relating to common interest developments.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. AB 899 is a consumer protection bill designed to give homeowners living in common interest developments more clarity and transparency in the disclosures they receive from the Homeowners Association. The bill creates a document disclosure index so that the board members and homeowners are aware of all of the disclosures that an HOA is required to distribute. The bill also makes it clear that an association can distribute these disclosures electronically with the consent of a homeowner. This is intended to make the communication between the association and members easier and less costly. The bill has received bipartisan support. I ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion, members? Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Aye. Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? Benoit? Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Aye. Cogdill? Aye. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Aye. Cox? Aye. Denham? Aye. DeSaulnier? Aye. Duchesne? Dutton? Aye. Flores? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? Aye. Hollingsworth? Aye. Huff? Aye. Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Liu? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Aye. Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Aye. Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? Aye. Semidian? Steinberg? Strickland? Aye. Walters? Semidian, aye. Walters? Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Yee? Yee? Yee, aye.
Ayes 33, noes 0. The measure is on call. File item 74, Senator DeSaulnier. We have amendments pending. That takes us to file item 75. Senator DeSaulnier not at his desk. File item 76, Senator Duchesne not at her desk. File item 77, Senator Alquist. Secretary will read.
Assembly Bill 115 by Assemblymember Bell, an act relating to health care coverage.
Thank you, Mr. President and members. In 2007, we created a pilot program in Santa Clara County to provide health insurance to employees of small businesses using a shared cost model. This program has proven to be very successful. AB 115 will enable the county to also cover spouses, domestic partners, and dependents. The bill is a voluntary partnership among workers, their employers, and the County of Santa Clara. There is no cost to the state. The County of Santa Clara is in support, and I ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? No. Alquist? Aye. Ashburn? No. Benoit? No. Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Cogdill? No. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Cox? No. Denham? No. DeSaulnier? Aye. Duchesne? Dutton? No. Flores? Hancock? Aye. Harmon? No. Hollingsworth? Huff? Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Aye. Liu? Aye. Lowenthal? Aye. Maldonado? Aye. Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Aye. Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? No. Semidian? Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Strickland? Walters? No. Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Yee? Yee, aye. Correa, aye. Duchesne, aye. Cedillo, aye. Flores, aye. Strickland, no. Huff, no. Anybody else? Can I call absent?
Call the absent members.
Hollingsworth? No. Wyland? Mr. President, ayes 26, noes 13.
Ayes 26, noes 13. The measure is passed. Members, we have a full complement now on the floor, and for that reason I'd like to ask the Secretary to go back to the items on call, list the calls in the order in which the measures were taken up, and let's see if we can dispense with those items. Members, we will be lifting the call. File item 46. File item 46, Mr. Secretary. Call the absent members.
DeCheney? Aye. Flores? Aye. Hollingsworth? Leno? Aye. Maldonado? Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Aye. Mr. President, ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, noes 0. The measure is passed. File item 51. File item 51, this is AB 313. Call the absent members.
Ashburn? Aye. DeCheney? Aye. Leno? Aye. Liu? Aye. Maldonado? Steinberg? Aye. Maldonado, aye. Mr. President, ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, noes 0. File item 59. This is AB 250. File item 59. Secretary, call the absent members.
Ashburn? Aye. Cedillo? DeSaulnier? Aye. DeCheney? Leno? Aye. Negrete McLeod? Steinberg? Aye. DeCheney, aye. Mr. President, ayes 38, no 0.
Ayes 38, noes 0. The measure is passed. File item 60. This is AB 1 members. File item 60. Secretary, call the absent members.
Ashburn? No. DeCheney? Leno? Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Mr. President, ayes 26, noes 13.
Ayes 26, noes 13. The measure is passed. File item 62. Members, this is AB 1134. File item 62. Secretary, call the absent members.
Ashburn? Aye. Benoit? Aye. Cogdill? Aye. DeCheney? Aye. Leno? Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Mr. President, ayes 40, no 0.
Ayes 40, noes 0. The measure is passed. File item 66. This is AB 121. Secretary, call the absent members.
Ashburn? DeCheney? Hollingsworth? Leno? Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Ashburn, aye. DeCheney, aye. Mr. President, ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, no 0. The measure is passed. File item 68, AB 1403. This is file item 68. Call the absent members.
Ashburn? No. DeCheney? Leno? Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Mr. President, ayes. DeCheney, aye. Mr. President, ayes 33, no 7.
Ayes 33, no 7. The bill is passed. File item 69. This is AJR 6. File item 69. Call the absent members.
Ashburn? No. Benoit? DeCheney? Aye. Leno? Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Strickland? Mr. President, ayes 27, noes 11.
Ayes 27, noes 11. The resolution is adopted. That takes us to file item 73. This is AB 899 members. File item 73. Secretary, call the absent members.
Ashburn? Aye. Benoit? DeCheney? Leno? Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Walters? Aye. Wyland? Aye. Ducheney, aye. Mr. President, ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, noes 0. The measure is passed. Members, that takes us back to the file. We are at file item 78. Senator Leno not at his desk. File item 79. Do we have a floor manager? File item 80. Senator Ahlquist. File item 80. Senator Ahlquist. Passed. File item 81. Senator Onestad. Secretary, please read.
Assembly Bill 249 by Assemblymember Carter, an act relating to health facilities.
Mr. President, members, AB 249 will require convalescent care facilities to identify by owner and serial number each patient's privately owned mobility, hearing, and breathing equipment. This will assist California seniors and the disabled in the recovery of their lost or stolen medical equipment. The bill has had unanimous support throughout the Assembly, in the Senate Health Committee, and as members of both sides of the aisle as co-authors, I ask for your aye vote.
Debate or discussion? Seeing and hearing none, Secretary, call the roll.
Onnested? Aye. Ahlquist? Aye. Ashburn? Aye. Benoit? Aye. Calderon? Aye. Cedillo? Cogdill? Aye. Corbett? Aye. Correa? Cox? Aye. Denham? Aye. Desaunier? Aye. Ducheney? Dutton? Ducheney, aye. Dutton? Flores? Aye. Hancock? Aye. Harmon? Aye. Hollingsworth? Aye. Huff? Aye. Kehoe? Aye. Leno? Aye. Liu? Aye. Lowenthal? Maldonado? Aye. Negrete McLeod? Aye. Oropesa? Aye. Padilla? Aye. Pavley? Aye. Price? Aye. Romero? Aye. Runner? Aye. Semidian? Aye. Steinberg? Aye. Strickland? Aye. Walters? Aye. Wiggins? Aye. Wolk? Aye. Wright? Aye. Wyland? Aye. Yee? Yee, aye. Cedillo, aye. Dutton, aye. Mr. President, ayes 38, no 0.
Ayes 38, no 0. The measure is passed. Senator Steinberg, for what purpose do you rise? Senator Oropesa, for what purpose do you rise?
I change my look. I'd like to ask for a brief Democratic caucus.
Democratic caucus in the Maddie Lounge, Senator Oropesa?
Yes. Okay. In the Maddie Lounge.
Members, stand in recess for a Democratic caucus in the Maddie Lounge.